Senator Bovey. We will go next to the sponsors of the study, Senator Moody from Ontario, followed by Senator Dasco, also from Ontario.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Thank you for being here today, and I look forward to hearing your wise words on this. But one area that has been bothering me a bit as I listen to a number of comments around this is the question of capacity. Capacity within departments, sections, ministries, wherever in our government. And as you talked a little bit about this as being a real issue, can you speak a little bit more about that? Where is the issue? Is it at the level of training of advisors that are part of the process of policymaking, or is it an issue? Where is the deficit, or is it at number of levels?
I'm going to take a bit of a crack at that, but I will ask my colleague Carrie to perhaps jump in if I don't answer it in a comprehensive way. So I think we saw a lot of capacity training, so a lot of training by Treasury Board and PCO to their analysts to analyze submissions, but then I don't think it went much further than that, right? What do you do with the information that you had and gather? But there's also training needed in the department who actually have to apply this lens to policy development. And an understanding that it's just not on a new policy being developed, but you can start to gather data now about an existing program to use it to inform adjustments or future changes. So I just think that the training is about just that awareness to start off with. And we mentioned earlier along as well about intersectionality. We saw that when Women and Gender Equality Canada actually did 30 training sessions. They developed tools and guidance, yet departments were still self-identifying as not having the right tools or enough tools or not knowing what to do with the tools. So the department did a survey, and that survey actually highlighted that. So I think it was 76% of the departments that responded to the survey said they had lack of time and capacity. So it's a bit of both, right? I think everyone's looking for time, and so I would put capacity and time in the same bucket. I don't know if you wanted to add anything, Carrie?
Yes, thank you. Just to add to that, Wage 10 years ago established the GBA Plus framework, and that has 6 elements that build the foundation of GBA Plus capacity in departments. There's responsibility center, needs assessment, policy statement, training and tools, piloting it, and then monitoring it over time. And so across the past 10 years, Wage took a survey, and 5% of the departments and organizations that responded hadn't initiated even one of the elements, and 40% of the departments and organizations had neither a statement of intent or a formal GBA plus policy.
Time for another question, Madam
You
Chair?
do.
So the follow-up question I have relates to the culture, the timing in which this tool is being incorporated in the process of policy making. What did you learn? Where is it occurring? Is it initiated from the start of deliberations, or is it something that's considered once the policy is, where in the spectrum?
So it's an interesting question. We actually looked at that and highlighted some results in our report. Ideally, using the GBA Plus tool should happen right at the outset when you're defining the problem or the issue that you're trying to resolve with a policy or a program. And that's the critical place to do it. Doesn't mean you can't do it later, but that's really the critical place. The survey that we talked about that Wage had completed found that only 39% of departments did it at that early stage in 60% of the time. So it means that for most of the policy decisions, it's happening afterwards. And then it is too late, or it requires a lot of adjustment to say what kind of data should we have gathered, how do we go about getting it, how do we make sure that we are informing any modifications to the policy. To know that, you need to know how people are experiencing it. And so when you miss the critical stage of definition at the beginning, then you're always trying to play catch up.
Senator Daskal.